Other than my brothers and sisters, I had no friends and felt alone until Marcel came along, the love of my life, when I was 14 years old. Marcel, whose full name was Marcel Lehman, came from a very prominent and affluent family in Printerville, Haiti. He was biracial and spoke five languages: Creole, English, French, Spanish, and German. Marcel's father was a white Haitian with German ancestry, and his mother was a very light skinned black Haitian. Marcel and his family stood out like a sore thumb in the housing projects. The Lamans had ended up in the housing projects after fleeing Haiti due to political unrest. But before moving to America, they first fled to Germany for about a year, where Marcel learned German. After a series of very bad investments, his family went completely broke and decided to come to the United States. His father's name was Renee, his mother's name was Margot, and his two sisters were named Melissa and Lori. At the time, Melissa was 7, Lori was 10, and Marcel was 15. They moved in across the hall from me in 2001. Marcel had green eyes, caramel colored skin, and wavy hair. Girls thought he was incredibly good looking. Every school morning, five or six girls would wait just to walk him to and from school, including me. The advantage I had over the other girls was that I spoke Creole and French. They didn't. Though Marcel knew five languages, he only spoke three fluently: Creole, French, and German. To get a head start on my competition, I would arrive at his door extra early. That way, I could rush him out of his apartment before the other girls had a chance to show up. In school, I only had one class with him, second period English. I used to sit close to him to help him with his assignments. I remember the other girls giving me dirty looks because of this. I could have cared less. Marcel was well liked by all of his teachers, so much so that after just 3 months at our school, he was named Student of the Month. He was amazing. On occasions, I would notice that he seemed very sad, almost depressed. Out of concern, I would gently ask questions. He told me his parents had been arguing more and more, which startled him since he had never seen them argue before. Unfortunately, one day I witnessed one of those arguments. It was a weekday after school, and I was at his place helping him and Lori with their homework. Suddenly, Mr. Rene began yelling at Mrs. Margot about a light bill. Then he stormed out of the apartment, leaving the entire family shaken and upset. Because Mr. Rene did not have proof of his college degrees in business administration, he was limited to minimum wage jobs. The family barely made ends meet, with Mr. Rene working as a cab driver and Mrs. Margot as a hotel housekeeper. Things got so bad that Mr. Rene even had to pawn his wife's and children's expensive jewelry just to get by. I think that's what broke his spirit. Back in Haiti, people like Marcel and his family did not associate with commoners like me. Marcel still had the tendency to think of himself as being superior to others. This became painfully clear one day while I was helping Melissa with her homework. She was in the third grade, and her assignment involved identifying U.S. presidents. I lifted her paper to read it aloud. Thomas Jefferson is the third president of the United States, and he helped write the Declaration of Independence, which stated that all men are created equal and should be treated as such. Marcel, who was sitting beside me watching Good Times, scoffed and said, "No, we are not. The common class is the common class, and the upper class is the upper class. We don't mesh." Mrs. Margot, who was cooking dinner at that time, quickly scolded him, perhaps feeling a little embarrassed. "What do you mean, Marcel?" I asked, puzzled, though I already knew, exactly what he meant. Marcel, just in case you haven't noticed, you live here in the ghetto, I said, my voice rising. Stand up. Look outside the window. There are no swimming pools or fruit trees or whatever else you have back in Haiti. This is not your mansion in Pritchardville. This is the housing projects in Brooklyn, New York. You are just like me now, a commoner, I snapped. That was the first time, but not the last time, that I felt truly angry with him.